what is mean by sequence detector? Suppose you are having one lock, okay, and in that lock you are having certain things that if the inputs are entered in the particular sequence, like 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0, like a sequence is there, and if that sequence is not entered properly, your lock should get blocked. Otherwise, if you are entered that particular sequence in proper sequence, what should happen? It should open the lock. So I can say this is one example of sequence detector. So ultimate outcome of this particular lecture is that you, at the end of this lecture, you will be able to design a sequence detector for any sequence. Okay. So that sequence might be a 2-bit or 5-bit or 10-bit. You will able to design the circuit for that. Now, as I told you, this example where I have shown the lock and there is a one reset input is given and 0 1 inputs are given. So actually what is meant by this 0 1? That is the string of zeros and 1 we have given. So that string might be a 4-bit, 10-bit or anything. Okay. So reset is used for resetting purpose. In worst case scenario, if the circuit gets locked in one of the state, you need to take it out, because every time whenever you are having any appliances, there you are having the hard reset. So whenever we are pressing that reset, anything happening to the device or it locks in particular state, it will come out and again it will start. Okay, so for that, reset is the very important state, and you are giving some input in the form of strings of 0 and 1 over here, and output will be what? If the string get detected, what is meant by string? Suppose I am saying that my sequence is 1 0 1. Everybody getting? Because everyone concentrate properly, otherwise if you miss one part, it will be difficult for you to understand. So paper pen, you just keep ready with that. Now, as I told you, when I am having that particular sequence, that is 1 0 1, what is the output of that? Suppose I have given 1 0 1 0 1 sequence over here, and my sequence need to be detected is 1 0 1. So only when 1 0 1 is given, output will be 1. If you have given 1 0 0, output will be 0 only. Okay, so more I am exploring in the coming PPTs, but just this is the example or application point of view. I have just shared this PPT, that this is the lock. This is might be a digital lock which will be on only when particular sequence if you are giving. Okay, otherwise it will be locked. So here I am moving towards my next PPT. So what is sequence detector? It detects the sequence. Now here it is mentioned, just read each and every point properly. Okay, a sequence detector is the sequential state machine, because here in FSM we are targeting sequential machines only. I'm able. So sequence detector is a sequential state machine which takes an input string of bits. Input strings of bit means if I am having input X, which might be 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 1, like a string of bits, and generates an output 1 whenever the target sequence has detected. Meaning of that, if I want to detect sequence 101, so only 101 input string is given, your output will be 1. Otherwise, it will be showing 0. Okay, so to explore this, I just want to share, before going this, what is the different types of sequence detector, that is overlapping and non-overlapping. Just I want to go to the block diagram of this particular sequence detector. So here you are able to see sequence detector, what it is having. It is having one input which is X and another input as a clock, because as this is a sequential circuit, you require clock to operate, and there is an output. Now detector output will be equal to 0 as long as complete sequence is not detected, and output will be equal to 1 if the complete sequence is detected. Now to elaborate this thing, just I am going towards this Excel which I have prepared. Now are you able to see this particular diagram of sequence detector, where I have mentioned this is the block. I don't know what is the circuit inside, but I have designed, suppose it for the sequence detector which is detecting the sequence of 101. Is it clear? Okay, so now what is the input to the sequence detector? As I told you, it is having input string, and it is having input as a clock. So I am mentioning over here, it is a clock on which this sequence detector, which is the sequential circuit, will work. And here is the output. Now I need to find what is the output, because I have mentioned here question mark. Okay, so now just see, the sequence detector is for detecting sequence 101. So I have designed this circuitry. Internally there will be some flip-flops, gates, which will design your 101 sequence detector. Whenever input is 101, it will be detected. Okay, now what is mean by that? So what is the input to the sequence detector? That is, one is clock and second is the X. Now in the PPT, as I have mentioned, X is a string. What? X is a having bit stream. So what is meant by bit stream? It is having 1 0 1 0 1 0, whatever input you want to give, that is the string you have given. Now this is not coming at a time. Means if I have given that is 6 bits over here, so 6 bits not coming parallelly. Just keep that thing in mind. How it is coming? If I have given plus first clock and first bit will be applied, then again clock is given, second bit will be applied, third clock is applied, third bit will be applied. So although you are able to see this is the 6-bit type of value, but it will be coming one by one. It is string of zeros and one. Meaning of that, all the bits are coming one by one when clock is applied. Is it clear? Now again I'm saying just concentrate properly, because this is somewhat confusing, but if you understood, it is very simple, and if you will have interest in this. Okay, so now here I have written this X as a input, okay, and this Z is my output. Now as I told you, this sequence detector is detecting the sequence of 101. Okay, now how many 101 are present in the sequence? Just you need to find it. So what is meant by sequence detector? Whose output will be 1 only when whole sequence is get detected. Whole sequence means 101. If that is fully detected, 1 bit आ गया, उसके बाद में 0 आ गया, उसके बाद में फिर से 1 आ गया, at that time output of the sequence detector will become 1. In between it will not become 1. So that, to explain that only, just I am here showing this particular thing. So here you are able to see what is the input I have written. That is same whatever written over here. That is 101 010. So 101 010. You can take any string, input string, but as you need to detect 101, there should be 101 present in your string. Okay, otherwise you will not be getting output. Now there are actually two types of sequence detector. First is the overlapping one. Overlapping means where your last bit is acting as your first bit. I will explain this afterward. And non-overlapping means your last bit will be last bit, first bit will start from again freshly. Okay, so here just see this overlapping. To explain this overlapping, now which is your sequence 101? Is it present over here? First bit is 1, yes, but have you detected a sequence that is whole sequence? Because I told you output will become 1 only when whole sequence, that is 101, will get detected. Now here this is the first one, so I can say that there is no sequence detected, so I can give output as a 0. So here it will be what? 0. Why? Because it is the first bit, and still this time, till this time I have not received 101 sequence. Okay, so my output is 0. Second bit is what? Second bit is 0. Okay, so is it a sequence? 10 is a sequence? No, I have not got the sequence to be sequence detected. So here again your output will be 0. Clear? Now my third bit, in sequence it is coming, it is not coming at random. So first bit was 0 1, second was, this bit was 0, and third bit I am consecutively getting 1. So is it a sequence? Yes, my sequence is 101 and I am getting 101. Now at this moment what will happen? Your output will become 1. Why? Because at this particular point my sequence I got is 101, and I told you that output will become 1 only when your whole sequence get detected. So here you got 101, and that's why output is 1. Is it clear? In this X I am having string of 01, so only this 101 is not a part of the thing. I need to I am having again bit, because from that string of zeros and 1 I need to find how many input sequence I am going to detect. So my sequence is 101, so I need to find out how many 101 sequence present in the string. So now, as in overlapping, as I told you, there are two types of sequence detector. First is overlapping and second is non-overlapping. Now overlapping means this last one, because I have detected the sequence and this last one is acting as the first one. What? This last one is acting as the first one. So can I consider this as the last one also and first one also? Because if I am having this as a sequence 101, okay, and again I am just searching of that sequence, so I can take this as a second sequence. If I am taking this as an overlap, before kya hua tha? I have taken this, okay, I'm highlighting that this part. Now what I am taking, instead of starting with this, what I am doing, I am taking overlap. I am taking last bit as my first bit, and this is my second one. So this particular bit is overlapped in first sequence, also in the second sequence. So what is the meaning of this? Last bit is acting as my first bit, and that's why it is called as overlap. Got the concept? What is mean by overlapping? Last bit is of your sequence is acting as your first bit, so that is the overlapping. So here I am saying that this is my first sequence, but here whatever the last bit is coming, I am saying that it is my first bit also, so I am taking this again in the next sequence. So what is the case? Again over here I got a 1, but now is it sequence detected? Is whole sequence detected? This is my first one, so output to pehle 1 aa gaya, because my this is the last one of my sequence 101, so I got 1, but I have acted this as a first bit also, okay, but as it is considered as a last bit, I got it as a 1. So this is my second bit 10. How the is it are you getting sequence detected? No, because this is first one and this is 0, still my sequence is not detected, so that's why I have written over here what? 0. Okay, now just see, this is first one, this is second 0, this is third one. So 101, is it a sequence? Is it a sequence? Yes, and that's why here my output will be what? 1. So again I can say this is my first one, okay, this is last one, but I can consider this as the first one, and after that I will be trying again for finding the sequence. So this is my first one, this is my 0, and after this there is no bit 1 or 0, and that's why my output will be 0. So I can say my sequence input string is having this first sequence, so my output is 1, where whole sequence is detected, and it is having second sequence, that is 101, so I got second one. So from this output, can I say I got two 101 sequence, first at this time and second at this time? In ahead. Now suppose I am having 1 over here, okay, just let me see how many sequence will be there in overlapping case. If I am putting in the string of x 1 over here, how many string will be there? Total number of strings will be there in the overlapping case. Yes, fast. So here I can say this is my first sequence. Over here in the overlapping case, this is my second sequence. In the again overlapping case, this is my third sequence. So at this point my output should be 1, because whole sequence is getting detected. So now see how many ones present in Z. How many ones present in Z? So there are 3 ones present. What is mean by 1? That your sequence is detected at that point. So there are 3 numbers of sequence in the input string you have applied. Is it clear? Okay. Now moving toward the concept of non-overlapping. What is mean by non-overlapping? That I have considered this as my first sequence detected. Same way, just don't consider now this. I'm just hiding this, or I have to put it over here so that you can compare with overlapping and non-overlapping. So here you are able to see this is my first input. Okay, so what will be the output? As whole sequence is not detected, my output will be what? 0. Again I am having second input, still my sequence is not detected, because sequence is what? 101. So I have got 1 and this is 0, still my sequence is not get detected, so my output will be 0. Now third bit, I am able to see 101, because continuously I am getting 1, after that 0, then again I got 1. So this is my sequence, so I can say my output is 1 over here. Okay, so this is related to non-overlapping. Now in overlapping, what we did, this last bit is acting as a first bit, but in non-overlapping we can't do like that, so we need to start our next sequence from this. So now first sequence we have taken like this, and second sequence will start from this, because I am not considering my last bit as a first bit. Okay, and that's why this is my sequence, which what it is having 0. So my output will be 0 definitely. Okay, again after that it will be 1. Okay, my output will be 0 because whole sequence I have not got. So here 0 1. Now this can be my first bit because it is starting with 101. Now this is 0, there is no meaning, but now I can get like this 1 0 1. So at this moment I can say my sequence will get detected, so I will be writing 1 over here, and here it will be 0 only. Okay, so have you got this green line for the non-overlapping case? Why we got 1 and 0s, and why we have not got this 1 over here? Depending upon what you are assuming, what state diagram you want to draw. So first you need to write that I am drawing state diagram for 101 sequence detector in the form of overlapping, or you can assume like non-overlapping. So that thing you need to write by write at the first. Okay, so hope these things are clear, overlapping and non-overlapping. Okay, so moving further. So here, can you find now the same is I have written, that is question mark. So how to resolve this question mark? Like this way. If I am saying this is overlapping, so my output will be like this 0 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay. So for each and every bit there will be output because bits are coming one by one. They are not coming at the same time. As I told you, first clock is applied, your one will be applied, and it will be checking whether sequence is detected or not. As this is first one, whole sequence is not detected, and only when whole sequence, that is 101, will get detected, your output will become 1. I have given over here the case. Okay, now again you can see it as a 101 sequence and try to write down output. This is for your homework. Okay, I have given output already, but just match it with your answer whether you are getting same or not. Okay, I'm not going in detail of this, so just you need to check 101. Now here, just for the non-overlapping case, 0 is there, whole sequence is not get detected, so its answer is 0. 1, again whole sequence is not get detected, answer is 0. Only at this point where 101, whole sequence is getting detected, and that's why output is 1. Okay, as this is the non-overlapping case, so 101 will not be happening because this one already we have considered over here, so it will be starting from this 0. Okay, so 0 1 0, so this is my next sequence, so output is 1. Same way I will be starting with this, so my output will be 0. Same for the overlapping case you need to do. So I have given answer over here, just try to write down output for particular sequence detector having particular input as a string. Is it clear? So just do the things, otherwise it will be difficult because you need to practice for everything to have a better understanding. Now moving towards the PPT, as I told you, this is the example, we can have the thing. Now same way I have shown here this particular block diagram. Now you will be able to see this properly, because before showing that Excel, you will not, you will unable to understand, you might be unable might be understanding sending this. So there are two types of sequence detector, one is the overlapping and one is the non-overlapping. So this I have already taken. Okay, now this is the sequence detector whose output will be 1 only when whole sequence is getting detected. Okay, so here it is mentioned the output will be equal to 1 if whole sequence or complete sequence is detected. And before that, what will be the output? If the sequence is not detected, for each and every string of bit of 0 or 1 of the input, output will be 0. So that way you need to move. Now how to design a sequence detector. So steps for the designing sequence detector that are the same like we have studied previously. Just first important thing is that depending upon the problem statement or depending upon what sequence you need to detect, you need to draw a state diagram. If the state diagram is wrong, everything will be wrong, because depending upon state diagram only you are drawing the state table. Depending upon that, again you are using some flip-flop, again you are using solving it using K-map, and after getting equation using K-map, you need to design the circuitry. So if the base is only a wrong, that is state diagram, whatever you have designed is wrong, everything will be wrong. So everything whatever you have means 1 hour or half hour you used to draw that diagram or implementation of that circuitry will be waste. So always concentrate and check that state diagram twice before starting implementation. Okay, now the procedure is same. You are able to see. First is what? Draw the state diagram, and in sequence detector, this is very important because you are not getting ready-made state diagram as you got previously. Okay, so here is the main thing. Then state table, as I told you. Then use the proper flip-flop. Use excitation table. Draw the KMF related to JK flip-flop or whatever the flip-flop you have taken input of that and output of finding, and then implement the logic. So these states are same. So I'm not going in the detail of this because as the state diagram is prepared, there is all the other steps are same. Okay. So moving towards the next PPT. Now, instead of taking this sequence, I'm just trying to show a small sequence so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now you need to draw it with me. Okay, because until and unless you are not doing, it will be difficult. Okay, so first sequence I have taken, that is 101. So draw, write in your paper. Okay, 101. So I'm taking I have taken only 3-bit sequence instead of taking 4-5-bit sequence at the starting. So it is simple. And if you understood this, you can draw any type of sequence data for any input sequence or in any input string. So 101 I need to detect. So how to do? So here, because this is Excel, I have written that is square, but you need to write in circle because nodes or states are drawn in the form of circles. Okay. So now I am considering this overlapping case. What is meant by overlapping? As I discussed, overlapping means last bit I am considering as a first bit. Is it clear? Now, so first you have to write, find out the draw the state diagram for sequence detector 101, and you are assuming, because in paper suppose it is not written, you need to solve using overlapping or non-overlapping. So you need to write here, I am doing for the overlapping case. Is it clear? So first, now here you are able to see the states. Don't draw square. Again and again I am repeating. This is for Excel, and I feel that it is easy for me to explain using this instead of going through the PPT only. So for that I have created like this. So this is A, you need to draw a circle. B also you need to draw a circle. C also you need to draw a circle. So what is meant by A, B, C? That are the state names given. Now how many this states you need to draw? So that many bit you are having in the sequence, that many states you need to draw. So यहाँ पे कितने states है? Just let me check how many bits are there. So how many states you require? As there are 3 bits, means you require 3 states. That way you need to remember. And this I am considering for Mealy type of state diagram. I am having poll on this. If you need to implement, there are 2 types of state diagram. Finite state machine. First is the Mealy and second is the Moore. What is Mealy? Whose output depends upon present state as well as input. Okay. And what is Moore? Whose output depends upon present state only. It doesn't depend upon input. So here we are trying to draw the diagram for Mealy. Okay. Now just concentrate on this statement I am putting. In Mealy, the number of states required to represent or draw the state diagram for this 101 is same number of bit, that is 1, 2, 3. But in Moore, it's requiring 1 plus 1 extra state. That is 1 extra state for implementing same sequence detector for Moore. What is meant by that? If I need to implement this state diagram for this 101 in Mealy, I require how many state? Equal to number of bit, that is 101, that is 3 sequence or 3 states I required. But same if I need to implement using Moore, okay, I require 1 more extra state. What is mean by that? So if I'm telling like this, just let me know how many states you require to implement 101 using Moore state diagram. So here, as I told you, 1 more state is required to represent Moore for the same sequence. So here for Mealy, I require how many states? 101. 3 bits are there, so I require 3 states. But in Moore, I require 4 states. How that is there, I will tell you afterward. Understand? I'm again repeating, if you are to implement this particular sequence detector using Melee, you require that many state, that many bits you are having in this sequence detector, and in Moore, you require one more extra state to define same sequence to be detected in Moore FSM. Okay, so here I can say for implementing Melee type of circuit for this sequence detector, that is 101, I require 3 states, but for implementing same using Moore, I require one extra state, that is 4. Hope the things are clear in your mind now. Okay, keep a note of this. Now, how to start? Everyone, just draw proper number of states in your book. So you need to draw a circle. So how many circles you will be drawing? That is, I am having 101 sequence to be detected. So I require total 3 states. So draw 3 states. So first is this, because already I have drawn. So I'm just putting cursor over here. Second is B. It should be properly having spacing in between that. And third is C. Okay, you can place here also that as a circle also you can do, but I have taken straight line because it is simpler. I think that is simpler. Okay, so have you done with that? A, B, C, and give the naming, that S0, S1, S2, or A, B, C, whatever the notation you want to give, just give it. Okay, first you have drawn this particular states. So always it should be circle. So नहीं तो मुझे दिखेगा कि वो square में निकाला है. मैडम ने तो square बताया था. It should not like that. As this is the Excel, I am not able to draw the square over here. So circle over here. So this is circles. So these are the 3 states A, B, C. Now in yellow I have written something 0, 1, 1, 0. What is that? This is the second step. First step you have drawn the states, that is A, B, C. You have given the name. Okay, next is what? Always your first state is reset state. As I told you, if the circuit will be hang in particular state or locked into the particular state, you should be providing the facility to come out of that locked state or the normal mode. So for that, always first state is a reset state, and as your bit is starting from 1, okay, your reset state will be 0. Always reset or 1 or 0, what it may be. So your reset state be always 0. What? Your reset state is always 0. Okay, so have you done with this? Now why I have written 1? So as my first bit of this sequence is what? 1. Yes, listen carefully. My first bit of this sequence is 1, so I have written 1 over here. Is it clear? Now why I have written 1, 0? Because my first 2 bits of this sequence are 1, 0. What? My 2 bits of my sequence, first 2 bit of my sequence are 1, 0. That's why I have written 1, 0. Is it clear? Second point is clear. Why I have written 0, 1, 1, 0? Again I am repeating. Yes, do parallel with me, otherwise it will be difficult. First state will be always 0, which is called as a reset state. You need to write it properly and you need to provide proper space, otherwise this naming or this notation will be merging with each other. So proper spacing should be given. So first is the reset state. I have given for your understanding, this is the reset state. Okay, so over here this is the reset state. Second is what notation you need to give before below to state, that is first bit whatever present in your sequence. So first bit over here is the 1, and that's why I have written 1. Then next time there is 2 first bits, first 2 bits of the sequence, so 1, 0. If I am having the sequence like 1, 0, sorry, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, I am just writing here. If my sequence is 1, 0, 1, 0, what will be the next state? How many states you require? You require next state as a D, and where you need to write what you need to write, just comment. If this is 1, this is 1, 0, what will be this? What I need to write? What I need to write over here? Put your comment. Yes, everybody getting? That is first 3 bit. Okay, first 3 bit of the sequence is what? 1, 0, 1, and that's why I need to write 1, 0, 1. Okay, is it clear? So that many bits you are having in the sequence, that way you need to write the things. Okay, so first bit, first 2 bit, first 3 bit, first 4 bit, likewise you need to write. These are the very important steps. In some books, you will not able to see the things, but if you are doing in this way, it will be very simpler. So hope the things are clear. Now next thing, over here, always what input you are having, because my input is in the form of x. And what is x? X is the string of zeros and one. तो ऑप्शन क्या है? एक तो मेरा इनपुट 0 रहेगा या 1 रहेगा, बिकॉज स्ट्रिंग ऑफ zeros and 1 means either 0 or 1. So whenever you are in any of the state, that is how many states are there? A, B, C. So if you are in any of the state, your input to the state will be 0 or 1. If 0, what you need to do? If 1, what you need to do? That you need to find out. Is it clear up to that? Now, what you need to do? Now you need to consider that I am in state A. What you need to consider? I am in state A means the circuit is in state A. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of interpretation of this yellow color 1, 1, 0? So remember and write in your book. If the circuit is in A state, meaning of that it is reset and 0 is detected. What? If circuit is in A state, meaning of that it is a reset state and 0 is detected. When you are in this state, it will be detecting 0. Okay. Same way, if I am in B state, if circuit is in B state, what is the meaning of that? 1 is already detected. What? It is detecting 1. So whenever you are in state B, it has been detected 1. Okay, of this sequence. Okay. If you are in state C, what is mean by that? The circuit has detected 1, 0, consecutive 1 and 0. That is 1, 0. Continuous bits are coming over there, and it has detected 1, 0. Is it clear? What is the meaning of this yellow line I have mentioned? Now, if this is the condition D, and here I have written 1, 0, 1. What is meaning of this? Just let me know. What is meaning of this? If you are in state D, meaning of that 1, 0, 1 is already detected. Okay, is it clear? Okay, is it clear? So meaning of this, that if I am in state A, 0 is detected, that is it in reset state. If I am in B state, means first one of the sequence is detected. If I am in state C, means first 2 bits of my sequence are detected. Okay, now moving further. So always as there is only 2 options available, that is input might be 0, might be 1. So in each state, my input is 1, it will be giving certain next state, and the output again, if input is 0, it will be giving next state and certain output. So always you are able to see this is my state A, and there is the option for 0 what is happening, and for input 1 what is happening. Because what is meant by 0 by 0? Just let me know. What is written over here 0 by 0? What is meant by 0 by 0? Can you elaborate? Already I have explained. This is Mealy type of state diagram. On the transition, what is written for the Mealy? What is meant by 0 by 0? What is meant by 0 by 0? It is related to, yes, Kiran, you are very right. Input by output. Okay. So my input is 0. Whenever I am in state A, my input is 0 and my output is also 0. Why? Because until and unless whole sequence is not get detected, my output will not become 1. Okay. So before getting sequence detected, everywhere my output will be 0 only. Is it clear? Ayush, either the input is 0 and output is 0. Either nahi beta, input is 0 and output is 0. Okay. So yes, you understood. Now just concentrate, because this is the easiest method I am telling. Nothing is written inside the book or anything. So now suppose I have started, and at start my circuit is in reset state. Every time it may be happening like this only. It will be happening like this only. Circuit will be always in the reset state at the starting. So it is reset state. What is the reset state is named as A. And what is mean by that? 0 is detected over there. Okay. So if I am in reset state and my first input is coming as a 1 or 0, because I can have input as a 0 also or input as a 1 also, because inputs might be of 2 types, 0 and 1. So I am considering I am in state A, which is the reset state where 0 is detected, and I got input as a 0. What? My first bit of X. This is the X I am giving, and where my first bit is what? 0. So is it having any meaning? Is this 0 is having any meaning? No, because my input string start with 1. So it is not detecting 1 because I have given input as a 0. So there is no meaning. So it should remain in the reset state. Why reset state? Because in reset state, 0 is getting detected. Are you able to see? This is the 0 and that 0 should be detected. So where it is detecting? At this state, and that's why although it is in A state, it will go to A state only. Self loop. Why? Because 0 is getting detected in A only. And that's why self loop is applied. So you can just draw the line like self loop. Okay. And what to write? My input at this point is 0 and output is definitely 0 because sequence is not yet detected. So have you got this idea about this particular part? Here we have considered my input is 0 and I am in state what? A. And if the A is there means where 0 is detecting and my 0 is applied as an input, so that is detecting over here only. Is it clear? Now my next input might be 1. 0 तो मैंने ले लिया, अभी 1 भी हो सकता है ऑप्शन, तो क्या होगा 1 है तो is it my part of sequence? Yes, this is the first one of my sequence. So sequence is getting detected, means a part of sequence is getting detected, and that's why where 1 is detecting because I have given input as a 1. और कहाँ पे 1 detect हो रहा है? In the state B, because I told you if you are in B state 1 is already detected or you are detecting 1. So here when I am in state A and I am getting input as a 1, so I will move towards what? You need to put an arrow. You are going towards the B state. What is meant by B? Where 1 is detected or 1 is detecting. Okay, and that's why on arrow what you need to write? Input by output. As output is not still detected because 101 is the full sequence, and after detecting 101 only I will be getting output as a 1. Okay, so I have detected partial sequence, so 1 is only part of sequence, and that's why I have written 1 by 0. Is it clear? Just put your comment. This is the only logic you need to apply every time. Now I have completed with this first part where I have considered input in the both way 1 and 0. Now I am in state B. Is it clear? I have completed with A. Now I am in state B. What is meant by state B? That is 1 is already detected and you are starting detecting 1 0. Okay. Now again at this part where I have detected this 1, that is first bit of the sequence, I need to search for 0. Okay. So I am having two options again in the state B, that input might be 0 or might be 1. Okay. So अगर 0 है तो is it a part of sequence? Yes, 1 0 है ना. So it should go into the next state bit because 1 0 कहाँ पे detect हो रहा है? C पे, and that's why it will go to the C. Is it clear? Because I have given 0 input and where already I have detected 1, so 1 0 is coming and 1 0 is detecting in at C state, and that's why it will go straight. So here what is the input? Second bit is 0. So I have given 0. Output will be still 0 because whole sequence is not getting detected over here. And that's why I have written like this. Now consider for 1. So my first bit was detected is 1 and second bit is 1. So is it a sequence? मुझे तो 101 चाहिए था, but यहाँ पे क्या है? क्या है यहाँ पे? It is having second one. So I will not be getting sequence, but ये second one can be my first one because sequence ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना? ये sequence ऐसा भी हो सकता है. That is one already you have detected, and again one is coming. After that also it might be coming 0 and 1. Okay, so this one second one is acting as a my first one of the sequence. So one कहाँ पे detect हो रहा है? One is detecting at this point, यहाँ पे one, and that's why self loop you need to apply. If this is not clear, again there is a simple method over here I have written already, but before directly going to this particular point I just want to clear your logical thinking. I want to improve your logical thinking ability. Okay, so here my first input is 1, so I am in state 1, state B. Now after this, instead of 0 I am getting 1. So what will be happening if I am getting 1, and after that it might be having chance that it may come 1 0 1. So it may detect this sequence. So this one, second one can be my first one because after this I am getting 0 1 again, might be chances of that, and that's why where one is detecting, first one is detecting over here. In B state, first one is detected, and that's why self loop is written. and here it is written 1 by 0. What you need to do, ma'am, you talking about melee or move? I'm talking about melee, because there on the transition I have written 0 by 0. This is happening only in melee. So I am defining this melee only, not more at this moment. Okay. So here 1, it will be in the same state. Now you are in state C, where already 1 0 is detected. Okay, 1 0 is already detected. My input might be 0 or might be 1. If that is 1, what is the meaning of that? My whole sequence is getting detected. And here I am considering overlapping case. So this last one should be acting as my first one. So first one कहाँ पे detect हो रहा है? यहाँ पे है ना, 1 detect हो रहा है. So it will go to this state. When 1 is there, so here it has been written 1 by 1. Why? Because my input is 1 in the state C and my sequence is getting detected, so my output will be also 1. And as I am considering overlapping case, my last one is acting as my first one, and first one is detecting at the B, and that's why it has been mentioned that this arrow is coming to B. Okay, but if this is 0, if this is 0 means 1 0 0, is it a sequence? No, there is no meaning to the sequence. Again I need to start from beginning, so it is coming to the 0. So I have written 0 by 0. Okay, is it clear, ma'am? What is the need of applying self loop at A? It is reset. No, because as we are considering overlapping, so this one will be my first one also. This one second one you are getting, because there is no meaning of the sequence, meaning to the sequence. This second one can be first one, so that 1 0 1 can be detected, and that's why this second one is the first one, and where first one is detected over here, and that's why self loop is applied. Is it clear? Now in fast forward way, within 2 minutes I just want to take this particular thing. This is very simple, you need not have to apply your brain. Okay, so just write fast present state and next state. Sorry, present state and input. What you need to write? Present state and input at below every state. So I have written present state input over here, present state input over here, present state input over here. Just write it fast. So I have mentioned this present state and next state. Now what is written over here? What is present state at this moment? Present state is A. What is mean by A? That 0 is already detected, and that's why I have written 0 0 over here. Is it clear? As I am in A state, so present state is what? 0 0. What will be my input? There are two options possible. Input might be 0, might be 1, and that's why here input has been written as a 0 1. One option is that if I am in state A where 0 is already detected, my input may be 0, and second, I am in state A, my input may be 1. Same way I have written over here, which state? I am in state B where 1 is already detected, so I have written A over here, or 1 over here, because 1 is mentioned over here, so 1 is written. What is option of input? Input might be 0, might be 1, and that's why option 0 1 I have written. Again, you are in state what? C. What is mean by state C? Already 1 0 is detected and you have written 1 0 over here. Is it clear? 1 0 already you have written, and options are available, that is 0 and 1. Is it clear? Is it done? Now next step. I am in state A. So I am in state A where 0 is already detected and my input is what? 0. So is there any state naming 0 0? You are in state A. Is there any state naming 0 0? यहाँ पे 0 0 कहाँ पे लिखा है क्या? 0 0 means 0. So is there any state naming 0 0? Yes, this is 0. 0 0 and 0 is same. So just be self loop. Apply self loop. So you are in the self loop and you are written 0 by 0. Now you are in state A and input is 1. Is there any state naming 0 1? Is there any state naming 0 1? No, you are able to see only 1, suppose. So just remove this part, which remove this left hand side part, that is 0. Is there any state naming 1? Yes, move to that state and write 1 by 0, because input is 1, output is still 0. Is it clear? We are running out of time. I don't think I will complete over here. We will take this in the another lecture, and continue your things in the